So, we're home. We made it all in one piece. We didn't kill each other. The journey has come to an end. Now, in this episode, which I assume, unless myself or the brain trust at Moser Engineering comes up with some wild ideas that I'm not aware of at this point, I assume that this will be the last. This will be the last version, the last episode of this vlog, because the trip is over, right? So within this episode, you'll find some footage from Spring Fling Million Vegas, a little bit of footage from our ride home, a little bit of fun along the way, as well as sort of debriefs, if you will, from each member of the family. Remember when we first set out, we each came on and said, hey, this is what I'm looking forward to. This is what I'm going to miss most from home. We're going to revisit that now in retrospect. So enjoy that. But before you do, I did want to just say thanks for riding along with us on this journey. If you haven't figured it out by now, we documented this every bit, if not more, for ourselves than we did for you or for anyone watching, right? This is going to be a lot of fun to look back on years down the road for Jess, myself, and for the boys as well. But really appreciate you watching along. We got a lot of really positive feedback, had a lot of laughs about this at the track and away from it with several of you that have watched along. So thank you so much for allowing us to share this journey with you. Thanks for putting up with the shoddy camera work. We don't have the greatest production equipment, and a lot of it was shot by an 8-year-old. So, if you lived through that for 8 episodes, more power to you. All of that to say this, enjoy this episode, and I think I'll shut up and show some footage for you. All right, look at this. One of our biggest goals for the trip was to get little Jack pedaling on his own on his new bike. It took almost the whole trip. We're at our last stop, but my man has got it, and he is super proud of himself. Hopefully we don't hit any race cars in the process of this. Good job, Jack.
I'll keep doing it.
Sure. We're back, sort of where it all began, 2 months later. We're back at the Big Texan in Amarillo. We are halfway through our journey home. What do we think about the trip so far? Or the journey back, at least?
Well, it's been kind of boring ever since we left Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of driving, huh?
Yeah, a bunch of boring driving. And after we won, I have to do a bunch of boring SCHOOLWORK. I spell school if you don't know how to read.
Got some schoolwork on tap this afternoon on the way home. But we do have to get home, Gary. What do we got going on at home once we get there?
Birthday party.
Birthday party this weekend. Somebody's turning 9?
Me.
You ready for a party, Jack? We are a little bit disappointed because for the second consecutive stop, zoom in here, there is no one on the clock here at the Big Texan. Gary really wanted to see someone try to do the 72 ouncer, right? Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah, it's not over. We just sat down. Maybe somebody will clock in. You ready to be home, babe?
Yeah, the trip home is always long.
Yes, it's my least favorite.
Especially when we didn't win.
Yeah, That doesn't make it go any quicker.
The way home from the year that you won the million, that went by fast.
Yeah, that was a little more fun. We should do that again next year.
Here we are in nearly Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, on our way back from what seemed to be almost an entirely long trip out west. And I mean, Pomona, and I mean, before March started, it had been such a, I mean, it seemed like it was like 12 weeks, I mean, it seemed like that it was like 24 weeks ago that we were in California, and then
Turn the camera around on you here.
and then the rest of it feels like it's been a blast ever since we've left California. Because we went to Tombstone, Arizona, then we went up to Tucson, and then... Okay.
You can flip the screen around so you can see what the camera's seeing.
Okay. And then, hang on. Okay. There we go. So, anyway... Like I said, we went to Tombstone, and then we went to, Tucson, Arizona, then we went to Phoenix, and then... Niza, what did we do then? We went to Tucson, and then Phoenix.
We went up to that RV park in Camp Verde.
And then we went up to Camp Verde RV Park.
Sedona.
And then we went out to Sedona, and then we went back. And then we went to Grand Canyon on a Peak Jeep tour, and then... What did we do next?
We went to Phoenix so you and Jack could race.
Yeah, we went to Phoenix so me, Jack, and my mom could race. And then we went to Nevada to Vegas for the National, the Divisional, and the Fling. Not very much luck on any of those, except for the Divisional. My dad made it to the semis, and our friend Peeps won the last day of the Fling. So other than that, not very much. Yeah, and also our friend KB won $1 million. And like I said, we're near Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and we're on our way back from Vegas, and we left and we stopped right on the line of Texas, New Mexico last night. We stayed at a little truck stop, and then, you know, we like left Texas and we're in Oklahoma now, and we should stop somewhere in central Missouri tonight, or maybe a bit further.
Are you tired of riding yet?
Yeah, a little. I'm starting to miss all my stuff at home, but I can't believe that my birthday is in 3 days. That was my dog Barks. Barks, get out of here. Okay, and like I was saying, this on the way back, it has been kind of boring, and like I'm saying,
We're still in Oklahoma.
yeah, we're in Oklahoma still. Like, we ain't even halfway through Oklahoma, Jack.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Oklahoma for a while.
Yeah, and here's my mom and
Mine now.
okay, whatever. Okay, and now here's how it looks outside.
Hey, put this on the cable.
What?
This.
I don't know what the heck you're showing everyone. Okay. Now we might be going now. See ya. I know that we just made a video earlier. And now we were in Oklahoma City last time. I mean earlier. And now we have crossed Joplin and Springfield, and now where are we at now? Kabul.
Coming through those arcs.
Yeah.
I like this town. It's fun.
Marks, get out. And this video wasn't about you.
Did you interview
Sorry.
Mommy or me? Both of us.
So, how has this trip been so far, Dad?
It's been smooth sailing on the ride home. We got 1,500 miles behind us, and 250 miles ahead of us. So almost home. It's been smooth, no motorhome issues, at least to this point. Knock on wood.
Alright, how have you been enjoying this trip?
It's going good. As long as we get there safe and not break down, I'm good.
Well, like I said, we're in Kabul. I think that's the name of the town.
Why don't you give everybody a license plate update while we're out there?
Now, so we have seen almost every single license plate of the USA except for 2. You might have guessed Alaska and Hawaii, but we found both of them already. And if you're surprised, here are the 2 states we have not found: Connecticut and Delaware. Those 2 twins are really hard to find, and we might be going. Yes, finally we see some of this, and there's a pond right there. Finally, some grass and water. And finally, no more like rattlesnakes and all kinds of western cowboys. There's a lot of horses here.
Yeah, no
cows.
Here.
Yeah, finally, no of that western stuff. We're still typically in the west, because remember Missouri, gateway to the west. Remember St. Louis? And Illinois, back home. I think it's pretty cold back there, and even here in Missouri, it's pretty cold. I'm not joking. The weather outside, it feels like it's like 55 outside.
What's your brother doing?
Oh, my brother Jack, he's sleeping. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. So how was the fling?
We've had better flings.
Yeah, way better.
We had a good time. We didn't have much success.
No, not really.
On my end, car was good, not great. My starting line performance was good, not great. Finish line performance was probably not good. And at that race, you can't be good, you gotta be great. So, the first day and the last day, I went 6 rounds. In the million, didn't win a single round. Jets got it rolling. Million on the last day, 3 or 4 rounds each. And that was the extent of our highlights. Watched some of our good friends do good.
Yep.
KB, Peeps, Chris. But not much success on our end. We had a good time.
Yeah, because KB, Kevin Brandon, he won the actual million, and Peeps Pennington, he won the 30 grander on Saturday.
Yeah, and Chris Whitfield won the 30 grander on Thursday.
I was about to say Wednesday, but Thursday, yeah. The one on Wednesday.
Yeah, Lucas Walker.
Huh?
Lucas Walker.
Oh.
That's a wrap. We're headed home.
Yeah, finally. Look, here's the sign. The sign says Houston Rolla that way. And if you don't know where we are, we're in between Springfield and Sykeston, Missouri. Almost on our way, almost home. We're almost in Southern Illinois, our home. And if you don't know the name of our town, it's right next to Carbondale, where the Southern Illinois Salukis play, and the name of our actual town is called Carterville. If you don't know, just look it up on the map. It's really hard to find, but if you zoom in to southern of the Illinois, you'll find it. See ya.
You ready? All right, Jack, we're back home. We're actually at Gary's baseball practice. Gary's right over there. So, now that we're home from our trip, what was your favorite part of the trip, or what was the thing that you'll remember most about our trip to the West Coast?
What is the rest?
What?
I'm seeing the Hoover Dam.
The Hoover Dam? Yeah, the Hoover Dam was awesome. What'd you like best about it?
It was so cool.
It was. Now that we're home and you get to do all of the things at home, what did you miss the most about being on the road and not being at home?
Las Vegas and hot rods.
You missed your hot rods that were at home when you were in Las Vegas? Is that what you mean? Huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So, are you, were you sick of being on the road? Are you happy to be home?
I was sick.
Well, we all got sick at one point, but I mean, were you tired of being in the motorhome and ready to come home? Yeah. Would you go on a big trip like that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do want to do it again?
But not a very long one. This is a quick one.
Not as long as we did. Were we gone too long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just go to St. Louis.
You just want to go to St. Louis?
And blah, 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 blah.
All right, Gary. We are back home from our big trip. And we talked coming into it about what you were most excited about. But now that it's over, what do you think that you'll remember most about our trip out west?
Main thing that I remember is by going to Darren and Debbie's by the first time ever, a 15 seed making the Elite Eight, which is St. Peter's Peacocks, beat Daddy's team to win it all first round. So, Daddy, you lose.
We talked about this every time that you hear about the St. Peter's miracle run to the Elite Eight. You're probably going to think about being at Darren and Debbie Dolezal's because that's where we watched them beat Purdue, right?
And I remember about how silly your pick was to win.
Yeah, I did make a bad pick. I had Kentucky winning the whole thing. That didn't last long, did it?
Same with Jack's Colgate. Wait, didn't they just lose to Purdue? No,
I
wait,
don't
they lost
remember.
with the Badgers.
Did they?
Yeah.
What, now that we're home, what's the best thing about being home that you were missing when we were on the road?
Cushions!
The cushions?
And a nice long bath, but only I still hate baths. Not
but
showers.
But they're better than showers?
Yeah, showers suck.
Okay. Would, so are you happy to be home? Like, were you sick of being gone?
I mean, well, sort of. I mean, I like trips, it's just that not that long.
It was long. That's what Jack said, too. Would
Yeah,
you?
but I didn't like all the stuff. I mean, I liked all the stuff except for Road to Grand Canyon and Hooram. It was scary.
Yeah, scary because it was
I'm not scared.
scary because we were up so high. Yeah.
But Grand Canyon was way scarier than Hooram. Hooram was like, it's like the Grand Canyon's brother, but it's like the younger one. It's like the Grand Canyon's like, Hooram's like.
So if I told you we're gonna go on the same trip and we're gonna leave like next week, would you want to do it again or no?
Not next week!
Not next week. What if we said we were gonna do it next year?
Maybe the year after that.
You need a little time to recover.
But the thing I'm surprised is that we survived all the rattlesnakes and cacti.
Yeah, that was a nice bonus.
Hey, can I tell you my favorite part?
Sure.
My favorite part was the Disneyland.
Parks, you like Disneyland the best?
Yeah, and I saw a bunch of photos about you guys because I snuck on Jessica's phone. And it was funny. I saw all of the pictures and stuff.
Did you? Because you didn't actually get to go into Disneyland with us, did you?
No, but I like the hotel thing.
Yeah.
Because I went swimming in my pool. Splash, 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 Daddy Bow. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The lowdown from Gary, Jack, and Bart. All right, we're home. Truth be known, we've been home about a week, right? So I was going to debrief with each family member, but we started the trip by asking what were you most excited about and what did you think you would miss the most from home? So in retrospect, what do you think that you're going to remember most from our trip?
All the time together?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think a little bit of everything. I'll remember the Grand Canyon, Sedona, Disneyland, racing, enjoying the sunshine. I don't know. I think it'll all stick.
And now that we're back home, what would you say that you missed the most about being here while we were gone?
I mean, my family, and we got to celebrate Gary's birthday party, so that was a reminder of how much time we've spent away from family. But Of course, I love my bed. I love my fully air conditioning house, our each separate rooms, full shower.
Was it just me, or when we walked in the doors, our home, which is, probably smallish for what we need, it felt massive after spending 2 months in the motorhome.
It did.
All right, so I feel like the question we got most from family over the weekend is like, are you glad to be home?
I kept saying yes and no.
Right? Would you do it again?
Oh yeah.
Like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
No, we didn't even come close to killing each other.
So-
I really thought we'd have a few bad days, but I don't really feel like, we had a couple of rough moments without water and the stomach bug, but they were brief. So no, I don't even feel like we came close to killing each other. So I'd absolutely do it again.
All right, it's over. We're back home. The couple of questions that I posed for the rest of the family I'll tackle. So my most memorable parts of the trip, I don't think I'll forget several of the sightseeing aspects with the boys. I think what stands out most for me specifically, Sedona and the Grand Canyon, both just breathtaking, and we got to witness them both at sunset. Really cool, like experiences both with Jess and with her boys. As far as what I've missed most about home, like I'm an old man in the disguise of a little bit younger man, in that I am super like regimented and routine based, and you can't really do that on the road the way that we were traveling. So it is nice to come home, to set my alarm for the same time each morning, to be at the gym at the same time each morning, to be cooking breakfast at the same time. Like I take a lot of peace, if you will, right, tranquility in that routine. Like I don't feel like that's some people would look at that as like a prison, and I don't. Like I really like the repeatability of it, the consistency of it. So that's probably the thing that I miss the most, and what I really enjoy from being home. Broad takeaways from the trip. It's funny, we had family over for Gary's birthday party just yesterday, now as I record this, and the constant question was like, man, aren't you glad to be home? And yeah, like I love it at home, but it's not like I was just dying to get off the road, right? Like I think we're all in agreement. I would do this again. Like if we had the opportunity and the means to do it, I'd do it again tomorrow. It was awesome for a variety of reasons. Obviously, the most obvious, or most at the forefront, is the time that we spent together. And I there's no doubt my relationship with Jessica, with Gary, with Jack is better after these 10 weeks. Like we better understand one another. It wasn't all sunshine and roses, right? We had our moments, but I think we all understand each other on a little bit deeper level, and maybe more importantly, really believe in each other, right? More so even than we did when we left home, and that's worth everything, right? And then again, like just a kind of a broad takeaway, being on the road like that, like we're so connected today, I mean, I could do a lot of my work from the road. I could obviously keep up with friends, things like that. But it's just enough disjointed from the everyday routine that some things get cut out, right? Whether in personal life and in business and everything else, right? When you're on the road, you just can't do all of the things that you do at home. And some of those things when you get back are like glaringly obvious omissions, like, wow, you need to really pay attention to this or incorporate this back into your life. There's some of that. And then there's some, inevitably, you look back and go, I haven't paid any attention to this in 2 months. And you know what? It's fine. Which makes you really rethink and recalibrate like how we spend our time, right? And from that aspect, like it's very much a clean slate, an opportunity to start over and really reevaluate priorities and how we and I personally spend my time, and how I want that to look going forward. And so it's been a forcing mechanism in that regard that I hope I look back on months, years from now and say, yeah, like that bit of reflection, that removal from the day-to-day really forced me to reevaluate things for the better.